By speaking about
On Monday
RG's
night's
wife,
Sports
it's now
Center, I
brought
addressed the
my
horrific
family
car crash
into the
that took
equation.
Mr. Hall's life.
To
And
her,
that's a responsibility
to
that
my
I do not
children,
take lightly.
I am
And when
sorry.
discussed in real
I
time
have to
on
start
Monday
to
evening,
think about
I failed
how
to
my
do
words.
so. And for that, I apologize.
What's up, guys? So Ryan Clark is coming under fire again, and this time it's from conservatives, as during a segment on First Take, Clark decided to attack Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry's decision to have the Board of Governors create a committee to search for a new head coach for the LSU Tigers instead of athletic director Scott Woodward. RC, who is an LSU alumnus, was upset with the comments. And during First Take, the former Steelers safety also dragged late conservative political commentator Charlie Kirk into the equation after Landry expressed a desire to build a statue to honor Kirk. Here's what he said.
First off, it's the second most ridiculous thing he said this week. The first was standing on campus and saying he wanted to put a statue up of somebody that doesn't represent the people of Louisiana, doesn't represent the players and the students at LSU, doesn't represent the executives that work there. That was the first dumb thing he said this week. This is the second dumbest, right? Amongst a lot of dumb things that he says. Scott Woodward, for whatever he is a man who got Jay Johnson, right? Last I checked, the 2025 Louisiana State University Tiger baseball team was in the White House getting the GAT recently, right? He was there in 2019 when it's one of the greatest college football teams of all time. He also was there when he said, you know what, we're going to go out and get Kim Mulkey, right? She brings a championship to the school with Angel Reese and with Flau'jae Johnson. And so to me, this is another situation of politicians poking their nose into things that they don't know about. And I honestly believe it was so he can get in front of a microphone and say, look at this connection I have to the president, and he likes to pick winners so he could placate to somebody he idolizes. You don't know nothing about football. There's enough going on in the state of Louisiana that needs to be fixed for its constituents. Well, I don't need you tweeting on Saturday night about what's going on in Tiger Stadium. There is too many issues happening right there under your nose that ain't got nothing to do with sports. Scott Woodward is a good man. Scott Woodward is a man that cares about LSU. In the greatest times, back in the day, he understood what it was like to be a part of a winner, and he's brought more winners back to the school. He didn't miss because Brian Kelly wasn't capable. He missed because Brian Kelly was no longer willing. Brian Kelly was no longer tapped in. Brian Kelly didn't care if the people of Louisiana cared about him, and he didn't care if the players knew that he cared about them. That's where it went wrong. Not in picking a man who was the winningest all-time coach in Notre Dame history. And so for me, it's emotional, clearly, and it pisses me off, but Scott Woodward deserves to pick the next head coach, and the governor should stay out of it.
So yeah, a lot of people were enraged by RC's comments towards Charlie Kirk, with some even claiming that Trump won the state of Louisiana by 22 points, and therefore Charlie Kirk did represent the vast majority of the state. On top of that, a lot of people were going at Ryan Clark just because over the past 4 months or so, he has on numerous occasions kind of put his foot in his mouth after making comments that later got him reprimanded by ESPN. First, he made that video about RG3 where he basically criticized his former colleague for marrying a white woman, then he belittled Peter Schrager on the air and challenged his opinion because he never played the game of football, all while standing side by side Mina Kimes every week as she critiques NFL games. And most recently, the incident with Kyron Lacey where RC, while on national TV, basically said Kyron Lacey was innocent, and then the new video that surfaced refuted his claims. It's been a tough year for Ryan Clark, and honestly, I don't know if ESPN is going to renew his contract as he's been quite a headache for the network with some of his takes.